Today is on a Monday, the first trading day this week so far, and the market hasn't moved much today. We see we have this small daily candlestick at this point, showing us the correction that we're having from the previous. Remember from last week, we had an impulse move, this big impulse move at this point. Then, so right now, what we were expecting the market to be doing today is at least give us a correction, and before probably continue pushing to the downside, because you see from the previous analysis that we did, we were expecting this gold to continue pushing to the downside. And again, if you look at it from this point, you can see it's giving us these bearish structures. It's still on a downtrend at this point, and we have this bearish engulfing candlestick at this point. So that means that there's a possibility of us continuing pushing to the downside. And since it failed to continue pushing upwards at this point, so it gave us this kind of structure at this point, giving us this lower high at this point. So we'll continue pushing to the downside. So we were expecting this market to continue giving us this kind of structures, because you see from the previous analysis that we did, we were expecting to have a correction after the impulse move that we had, and exactly you see the market is respecting the setups that we were looking for. So I want to go to the 4-hour time frame and show you the kind of correction and what the gold market has been doing today. Because if you see from last week, we had this impulse move all the way from up here. We had this impulse move because previously, you see, we were having this bigger correction from the bigger time frames. We were having this bigger correction. This took a whole week. Before. Then after that, you see, we had this impulse move at this point. So after this impulse move, obviously, we normally wait for a correction, and that's what is happening at this point. From the 4-hour time frame, you can already see what is happening at this point. I want to go to the 1-hour time frame and at least show you how clear it is from that point. So this is how it's looking from the 1-hour time frame. You see, we having this market giving us these high highs, high lows. So if you took a quick scalp, maybe today you could, like for me today, I did take a quick scalp from down here, and I took all my take profit at this point, because you see there's a strong resistance zone at this point. If we zoom in and go to the 4-hour time frame, you can see this strong resistance zone that we have at this point, and I'm seeing this gold market respecting this resistance zone that we're having at this point. So which means that there's a possibility of this market bouncing from this point and continue pushing to the downside. So that's how I'm looking at it right now. You see, we having right now what's happening. We're having this correction at this point. We're having these higher highs, high low, higher high, high low. We have an higher high at this point. Then so I want us to look at the kind of structures probably the market is giving us, because you see, still I'm having a bearish bias in this market. So still I'm looking for sell entries. That's why today I haven't taken much of entries today, because I did take a quick scalp all the way from down here going up there. The reason I did that is because if you look at this point down here, we had this double bottom at this point. Then after having this double bottom at this point, then we had this higher high, immediate high that the market had already created at this point. If you go to the 15-minute time frame, it's more clear there. So you see from the 15-minute time frame, the market had already created this higher, this immediate high at this point. So seeing this market had already created this immediate high at this point, so the minute I woke up, I saw this market was around this area. And during the London session, still the market was playing around this area. So when I saw this market giving me this higher highs and higher low, and I saw this change of character at this point, so I started looking for maybe a short-term buys at this point, because I was expecting that at least the market will push up a little bit before it continue pushing to the downside. So I did take my buy entry at this point down here. Then after taking my buy entry at this point down here, pushed straight to take profit. This was where I had my take profit. Then I did close all my entries, and you see this market started consolidating around this area. You see still this market is within this channel. So as long as the market stays within this channel, which means there's no trade that we're going to take at the moment. So we'll just wait and see until this market breaks out of this range that we're having at this point. Then we can now take our entries probably get make some money from there. So if you look at this point, we still in this zone. So if this market breaks below this area, that's probably on Tuesday, because right now the London session is over. We're done with the New York session, so it's like we are right now we are on the Asian session. So which means if this market does break below this area, which means tomorrow we'll be looking for at least a few entries for us to continue pushing to the downside, and this will be a very good opportunity, because you see, if that does happen, we are targeting about 366 pips, guys. That's very, very good. So if you take these and use maybe 0.1 load, that could be about a 0.1 load for 366 pips. That could have been about $366, and that's very good. If you use one lot on that, that's about $3,660, $3,666, and that's good. So at this point, I want to show you some of the reasons why I'm still bearish on this market, because you see, for you to take entries in the gold market, at least you have to have confidences. You need to have reasons for you to take any entry in the gold market, you see. At the moment, if you look at this market, it has been respecting the resistance zone that we have at this point, because you see, from the 1 hour time frame, this is a strong resistance zone that we have. So you see, this market has been rejecting around this area, went down, came up a little bit, and give us this double top at this point. So we have this double top up here. And again, we already know that from the previous week, the market was supposed to give us a correction at this point after this impulse move. And what is happening down here, this market is giving us this kind of bearish flag at this point. So it's giving us this kind of bearish flag at this point. That's why I'm still looking at this market and trying to look for sell entries. That's why I'm still trying to look for sell entries at this point. So if it does respect this setup during this Asian session, which means that tomorrow, which will be on a Tuesday, we'll be looking to take our entries. But first of all, for us to take our entry in this point, we'll wait for this market probably to close below this lower high that we have at this point. So if it does close below this lower high at this point, then probably it will be our safest entry. Then we'll hold it all the way down here. But as always, you should always take you take profit along this key area. So which means our first target will be down here. This will be our first target. This will be where we'll have our first take profit. Our next take profit will be down here. Then our last take profit will be all the way down here, where we have this last lower high. So which means if you take this entry at this point, you'll have at least 3 entries. Maybe if you're planning to use a 0.15 lot, you can just split it into 3. Then you have 0.05 take profit 1 at this point, then 0.05 take profit 2 at this point, then 0.05 take profit 3 at this point, and that would be at least that would be so good, though. That would be so good for you. Yeah, so that's how I'm looking at the gold market today on a Monday. And I'll share this as long as immediately the market gives me a sign for me to go in. I'll share this to the free Telegram channel community, and also I'll share it to my VIP members. So make sure, if you're not there already, make sure you go check the link out in my bio. Join the free Telegram channel community, and maybe when this is ready, we eat it together. So thanks for watching, guys. This is Profit and Night signing out. I'll see you in the next video.